Welcome back to Crazy X Podcast. This time, Roger and I watched Season 2, Episode 10, Will Scarsdale Like Josh's Shayna Punim? Wow, that is just a lot. That's really hard to say. The Josh's Shayna is also really
and
hard.
you also say Scarsdale, so it's kind of a lot.
Scarsdale.
Yeah.
As always, we'll start off with a synopsis. Rebecca and Josh travel to New York and stay with Naomi for a family bar mitzvah. When Josh refuses to have a miserable time with her, Rebecca realizes she's seeking happiness in another person. Surprisingly, Josh bonds with Naomi, and Naomi sends him on a mission. Back in West Covina, Rebecca is so close to a breakthrough with Dr. Akopian when Josh proposes with the Garfinkel ring. Meanwhile, Darryl and Nathaniel have different kinds of temper tantrums at the office, but ultimately bond about being disappointments to their fathers. Roger, what did you think of this episode?
A good episode. I'm not surprised that an episode that included Naomi and Audra is an episode that I liked.
And Dr. Akopian.
Well, and also, this wasn't an episode where Rebecca schemes and does something stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't. It was an episode where they have to go on a vacation. They get put in a relatively normal situation, and we actually deal with it. This isn't just her kidnapping someone or breaking into, it's just living.
Yeah.
But it's entertaining.
Yeah, I know. I like this episode too. I think both of the songs are good as well.
Yeah. Two really good songs.
And it's interesting to see that, the Rabbi Sherry, directly says it to Rebecca, you are putting Josh on a pedestal, he is
what we have been saying for a long time. Well, not even pedestal, because that's a different thing than what we're saying. What she's saying is that, that's too much pressure on one human to solve all of your problems, and that's kind of the conclusion to our argument. Did she move her to be happy? Yes, but she thought her happiness was Josh.
Although I don't know if it's not putting a person on a pedestal when Rabbi Sherry says human, and Rebecca says, is Josh really human?
Which is both could be elevating and dehumanizing.
She definitely means it.
100%. It's just a weird way to say that. We're not talking about a human. We're talking about Josh Chan's. Yeah. Wow.
But it is interesting to see all of the, because this episode offers a cultural clash between East Coast, West Coast, Jewish, not Jewish, Josh's upbringing and her
young.
Yeah. But it there are a lot of reasons on paper why Josh and Rebecca don't make a lot of sense, and there's an added layer of that here with the family and the bar mitzvah. But Josh is honestly having the best time.
I'm not surprised though.
Why?
Well, because the flaw with the on paper thinking, which is why I've always dismissed it, is that it seems to imply that there's a level of importance to things that ultimately don't matter.
Yeah.
No one really gives a shit about your job when we're talking about whether or not a person works for you. So when we say, this person is on paper good for you, no. That's the old classic stereotype, right? Well, honey, bring home a lawyer or a doctor. Okay, well, what if she brings home a lawyer or a doctor who kicks shit out of her? Mm-hmm. He's good for her on paper. I don't think that's what we really mean.
It's true.
Or,
But I also don't know if Rebecca and Josh are good for each other, not on paper.
That's a different discussion.
Yeah.
That's totally fair. But when we talk about, on paper, it's that's just a dumb thing that shallow people use. It's like saying, bring home an 8.
But
who cares?
It is interesting to see Naomi, who is very much an on-paper person, overcome her on-paperness.
Is she an on-paper person?
Yes.
Well, she's Jewish. Did she marry and have a child with a Jewish man?
That's a good point. Wasn't it an accident?
Nope. From what you told me, she made a choice to go outside of her parents' wishes because she fell in love with him.
Okay.
So...
But, she cares so much about, Rebecca being a lawyer that went to Harvard and Yale and, being like Audra and marrying a good Jewish boy and, settling down. She cares about that.
It's true, but it's also possible that the reason she cares about that is she truly believes that is what will make Rebecca happy because Rebecca's been miserable all of the time.
I do think that Naomi also thinks that part of the reason that she wasn't happy was because she didn't do that. Naomi herself.
Maybe. But the fact that she is so delighted with Josh makes it seem like that is not really that important to her.
Yeah, that is an interesting...
Because if that dynamic were true, she would be trying to split them up as opposed to giving him the plan to get her to marry him.
Mm-hmm.
She loves Josh.
Yeah.
And she even says she softens like the hard edges of her.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I don't actually see Rebecca as someone with hard edges. Like that's an odd phrase.
I think Rebecca, I think that's fair because Rebecca is often a like head in the clouds person that is like really, but I think that she sways a lot. She can be incredibly jaded or she can be on the other side.
Yeah,
and I think those are both parts of her personality.
I think that I do think there's like a level of like self-loathing misery in there, but like that's not what I think of when I think of hard and jaded edges. Like Nathaniel has hard edges.
Yeah.
White Josh has some hard edges. Valencia has hard edges. Rebecca does not. Like she's not what I would think of as like hard edge. Not because when we say hard edges, it's usually I'm not quick to let people in.
Yeah.
Rebecca's the opposite, where she like forces herself on you, and it's gonna make you let her in no matter what.
Yeah.
She's got it's kind of like how we talked about with deep thinking. Like, or not like a deep-seated darkness. I don't think of her as like a brooding, deep-seated darkness person, but there's some deep internalized darkness with her. Why are you chuckling?
There's a song later called "The Darkness."
That's amazing. Okay. Great, love it.
Where should we start?
Because I want to save Nathaniel to the very end.
Okay.
Let's just start with Rebecca and Josh. Well, actually, let's start with Josh and Father Bra.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said this before. I know Josh was dumb. We have turned up the knob on Josh's stupidity in the last 2 episodes. Like, this is extra dumb. She asked if I pierced her hymen, and I said no. She showed up to camp with those earrings, and Father Bra looks at him like that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, we've now basically, and I get why we're doing it, but like, Josh is the dumbest person on the planet. Ever.
Yep. Josh is really dumb.
Please remember that when we later again argue over Josh's plan to manipulate Rebecca, that Josh, a person whose plan was to stand outside Paula's door for 3 days, somehow came up with a plan. Okay, sure he did. That's what Josh does. He's a planner.
He's a big planner.
Mm-hmm.
It is also interesting that both the rabbi and Father Bra, the religious figures in this episode, both clock that Rebecca and Josh are seeking happiness externally from another person.
Yeah, it's interesting because they're doing it in different ways, though. Like, Rebecca is trying to solve all of her problems with another person. Yes. Josh is like, that's the only thing he has.
Yes.
So it's like, it's basically, he's putting all of his energy into this because without it, he doesn't want to accept that, like, he doesn't have anything else.
Yeah, it's not like it's like problems, it's that he doesn't have anything.
I guess the problem is that, like, this is his sole focus in life.
I did think it was pretty funny that he snapped back at Father Bra, like, well, isn't that what you do as a priest? You just, like, put all your shit into Jesus? And he's like, yeah, I guess so, man.
Well, his statement is not entirely wrong, that he defines himself by his relationship to Jesus, which is true. That is what Father Bra does. But it's like, I think there's a difference between me choosing to define myself by football consciously and you defining yourself by your trauma with your mother or your relationship with a boy. Like, I chose to be this person. You're, like, forced to be this person because you don't have anything better to do.
Yeah, well, and, like, I mean, I have, as an atheist, I don't believe in any of this shit.
Sure.
But
he chose that.
From a Catholic perspective, like, giving up, it's like giving up your life. Like, you are sacrificing something for it. And that's, like, what they believe.
But it was intentional.
Yeah,
he went in with eyes wide open with the intent to do that. Josh didn't intend to, he just kind of fell into this, which is what Josh does.
Yeah, but Father Bra is a pretty good, like, relationship counselor. He should... I mean, I know Paula and Scott are not together currently, but he did...
But that's not based on anything that he said. Yeah. That's just them...
But he got them back together last time.
Also, they're fundamentally flawed. Like, there's
Scott.
Only so much you can fix. Like, if your foundation is rotten, it's rotten. Okay, now let's just go to New York.
Sure.
Naomi. Look, I get it. You're old. And there were some things that were different back in the day. Oriental?
Yeah, I felt that. I felt that coming immediately.
100%.
It happened right away.
Like, I was thinking we're going to hear this at the bar mitzvah. Nope. 2 seconds in. You brought the... And the way she says it, too, it's so like, oh, you brought the Oriental. You're like, what? You did not just say that.
Well, and I mean, I guess that this is part of the joke later when they say that they looked it up on Google. Josh isn't Oriental. Like, even if we're, like, not... Like, obviously this is a racist
He's Pacific
term.
Islander? What
Yeah.
is he?
He's Filipino.
To a racist, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those funny distinctions. They're like, I'm not Chinese, I'm Korean. I'm like, I promise you racists don't care.
Yeah.
But you're right. He is not typically of Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Cambodian descent.
Yeah.
He is Pacific Islander.
Yeah. I will applaud. That woman is like at least 70 years old, and she walked around in a bra.
Yeah.
And she looks good.
Yeah. Courage. Respect that.
Yeah.
Also, why are you using face moisturizer all on your body?
Fancy face moisturizer.
And-
She deserves a treat.
And then
right?
she walked around with it naked because it might, absorb?
Yeah, because you can't put clothes on because it might rub off.
Can't she put on like a nice silk robe? I know
It might get into the robe.
Come on, please.
Hey, if you're rubbing $200 face moisturizer all over
Moisturizer costs $200?
I bet the one that she used cost at
You're
least
probably
$200.
right. I mean, I would never do that, so I don't know, but yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But then, so I did like the reprise after that. The other thing that's weird is that, like, okay, look, everyone has issues with their parents. I get it. But, like, there's a certain way I'm going to act around Jen with my family that's going to be maybe different than when I'm in private, because I don't need her to see the entire level of crazy here. Apparently Rebecca doesn't understand this concept at all.
No.
What are we doing? Like, just, what are we doing here?
Yeah, why are they not in a hotel? Who sleeps on a couch?
Well, so here's the thing. Look, if I went back and I was just visiting by myself, I might sleep on my mom's couch. I don't really care. Like, that's not that big of a deal. Like,
If there was a spare room, but not on a couch.
I mean, there is a spare room.
That's full of magazines, apparently.
Yeah. But, like, if it was just me, and, yeah, okay, maybe I go sleep in my childhood room or the guest room or whatever, like, it wouldn't bother me that much. I'm not bringing my wife and me to go sleep. Like, that's not happening.
I feel like this happens constantly in TV shows and movies, and it drives me insane. Like, we saw what the outside of Naomi's house looks like. Are we meant to believe that Naomi's house only has 2 bedrooms in it? Like, why do all of these people that live in giant houses not have spare rooms?
I don't know. Because, I mean, let me think about my house. We have 3 rooms, technically?
Yeah. And even if you didn't have beds in those rooms,
Yeah.
you could get an air mattress.
Because, like, okay, let's assume you have an office.
Sure.
Most people have an office. Usually you do have a guest room, but that guest room is for the magazines.
Yeah.
And I guess...
Well, and you also have another room that you don't think is a room because it's your closet.
You goddamn right.
But that is a room.
False. You sleep in there, we're throwing hands. Like, I'm telling you right now, no one can...
is allowed to sleep in there?
No one besides me. No.
Not even on an air mattress?
No. We have a guest room.
What if there's somebody in the guest room?
Are you saying if we have 2 guests?
Yeah.
We have a couch.
I would just like to clarify that Roger has an entire room in his home.
It cannot be classified as a room.
Because it doesn't have a closet.
Correct.
He turned an entire room into a closet.
I did.
It is bigger than
It's good.
most of the bedrooms in this
It's
house.
75% of your house.
It's a big room.
It is a big room, but it's and it's actually what's funny. It's designed to only be a storage area, just the way it was like laid out when I got there. I was like, what else could this be? I guess you could make it a room.
Bonus room, I guess.
It doesn't have a closet though.
But a bonus room doesn't have to have a closet, like this room. It's just weird that your house has 2 bonus rooms.
Yeah.
Maybe it did have a closet at some point and somebody ripped
took
it
it
out.
It's
I don't
possible. Yeah.
know. Anyway, that's a little bit about Roger that you didn't know.
Well, they could probably guess all the conversations we've had about shoes and clothes. Yeah, I have space. It's true. But the whole point is that, like, why, like, Rebecca, what was your thought process in, let's take my boyfriend, who my mother doesn't like, it's not like they've never met, and we're going to stay at her house in a room that I know is not available so that we have to sleep on a couch.
Well, if you think about it in the context of what is happening in this episode, that isn't at all surprising. Rebecca...
Oh, yeah, because she wants him to be miserable, too.
Well, in order for herself to feel good,
Yeah.
she needs to be with Josh. So she doesn't actually care if he has a good time. She just needs someone with her so that she feels good.
Can we walk that back a little bit?
Yeah.
I want you to say that piece one more time.
She doesn't actually care if he has a good time.
Yeah.
And part of that is intentional, I think, but part of it is she is assuming that, like her, all he wants is to be together.
I truly don't think Rebecca has ever once thought about what Josh wants.
Okay.
Like, I would argue that, like, and I don't think it's malicious. I think it's more so that, like, you are here to solve my problems. And I'm not really concerned with whether or not I solve any of your problems. It's just you make me happy, and that's what I need.
He also did say that he loves her.
He did.
So I think that to her, she's like, well, then...
We'll never have problems again.
Yeah.
But even before
never
that...
have problems again.
I mean, that's how love works, Chelsea. It's if you have the truest love of all, you'll never have any problem. That's why in the other show that we do, our characters with true love have no problems ever at all.
That's why Elon Musk's love card didn't work, because it wasn't true love.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because truest love is the strongest magic of all.
It is.
Except for shoes.
Except for shoes.
So yeah, this was just a poor choice. Also, I do love the reprise of We Definitely Shouldn't Have Sex Right Now.
The reprises in this episode were one right after the other.
Yeah.
One of my favorites was they didn't play the music, but when Audra walks in, they meet her husband. Rebecca says, "Finished quick, rotten lay," which is a line from the Jap Battle Rap song.
Is it?
Yes.
Ooh. Also, that's tough. Like, I know women love that insult, and I'm always like, it's funny though, I feel like that's an insecurity that most men would have. And if we were flipping it, and men were consistently making a joke like that about women, we'd be like, wow, he's a fucking dickhead. But in this, we're supposed to feel sorry for Rebecca because that's her rival.
Oh, I don't know. I mean...
Like, they have a history that we're not calling Rebecca the villain here. We're just saying it's two old rivals going at each other. And she's actually dogging the husband, who did nothing wrong here, to get at Audra.
Yes.
100%. That is what we're doing. Yeah. But it's not like we're saying Audra's the villain of this story, quote unquote.
I was also, like, very interested with what they were trying to do with Audra's husband and Josh. And I'm not quite sure what
do you think they were trying to do?
I think they're trying to show that Audra's husband is just as dumb as Josh.
I don't think it's just as dumb. I think they have similar interests, and it's more or less showing that Audra and Rebecca are far more similar than they care to admit.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't think he's dumb the way Josh is dumb, but he likes... I mean, women often say that men are dumb when they like childish things. So if I want to go play comics and play video games, you're dumb, but, like, that doesn't mean you're dumb. It just means you have childish interests.
Well, he also apparently went to Harvard.
Probably not dumb.
I mean, maybe, but...
Yeah, probably not. Like... If there's one thing I know elitists like to brag about, it's how only the elite get into Harvard, so usually they don't let the dumb in.
Well, and then the further dig later, when Rebecca tells Audra that he called her mom after they had sex.
Right when he finished, he said, "Mom, good luck in unpacking that," and you're like, again, I get what you're going for.
At least she didn't say that in front of him, but I feel like it's worse to say it to his wife.
It's way worse to say it to the wife. And Audra looks horrified. And rightfully so. But, like, I get that you two have a rivalry, but, like, you know, it's like, say, like, if me and you have an issue, why do we have to bring the family into it? And again, imagine if this were Josh and the husband, and they're just slamming their wives to get each other. Like, this would look real bad.
Well, and it's really interesting, like, when you think about it in the context of, like, what Rebecca realizes, or almost realizes in this episode. Audra, like, Rebecca knows that what she had in New York wasn't making her happy either.
Sure.
And then she tried to find that in a person, and that's also not making her happy.
Mm-hmm.
But Audra just did what she was supposed to do on paper, and it seems like Audra also is not happy.
Audra and Rebecca are each the path not taken. Yeah. So if you look at what Rebecca's life would have been if she stays in New York, it's Audra. If you look at Rebecca's life if she goes to California, it's if you look at Audra's life if she goes to California, it's Rebecca. They're each like a funhouse mirror of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this many times about Rebecca, and this one no more so crystallizes this. Rebecca often gets very close to what we should have learned by the end of the episode and then fucks it up at the end. Like, I've said this at least a half dozen to a dozen times. This one is blatantly apparent that that's what happens. Like, revelation is right there. We're like, oh, we're close. Ah, missed it. And it's like, no. And Dr. Copian plays it perfectly.
Well, and I think the really interesting part about that is that Josh didn't think of that by himself. Naomi told him to do that.
Of course.
And it like that it's like designed specifically to distract Rebecca. Like, I don't know if Josh just walking in would have been enough to distract Rebecca from that realization. It was like the specifically proposing with the Garfinkel ring, like what she's always wanted.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't agree with your term of distract, because I think distract is something my dog gets when a squirrel runs by. Rebecca's a grown-ass woman who's responsible for her own actions. You don't get distracted. Sometimes you just don't give a shit about the things that aren't important to you. Like, Scott didn't get distracted by his quartet. He chose to prioritize his quartet over Paula. Paula didn't get distracted by whatever it was, her law. She chose to go to the law instead of the quartet. You're an adult. At some point, you have to take responsibility for your own actions. My dog gets distracted because she's a dog. Rebecca's a grown-ass woman. Distracted is, enabling her bullshit behavior.
I'm going to tell Jennifer that you said that your dog is just a dog.
Okay, now see, why are you trying to hurt me? You know that's not okay. Oh, gosh. I have to tell you a funny story about a dog later.
Okay, great. I love funny stories about dogs.
Yeah. I lost my thought. Oh, no. So there's the quote-unquote distraction. I do think Josh going in to propose to her would have worked. I think, though, Naomi knows her daughter so well that she said, if you go get this ring and you propose to her because you really love her, there's no chance this fails. Because Naomi knows her, and she was right on the money.
Yeah. This is I'm terrified for these two.
I'm really not, though. Like, so we talk about, like, oh, they're making a mistake. It's like, yeah, but they're both kind of walking mistakes. Like, if we're being 100% honest, they both...
They need to fail hard so that they can do a 360.
Like, if there is, like, something that, like, if you fail... Yeah, it's like a 360 keeps exactly
worse.
Right where you're at. If they just keep doing what they're doing, nothing's going to get better. They're going to have to hit rock bottom before they change.
Yeah. They'll never have problems again.
Of course. That's how love works. We'll never have problems again. And honestly, what makes it better? If you bring a baby into the situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Fixes all of your relationship issues.
Babies definitely fix it all.
Totally.
Do you have any... Okay, well, Dr. Akopian.
Gotta talk about Dr. Akopian.
Dr. Akopian.
I absolutely love her posture of just like, oh, this bitch. Just listening and like totally tuned out. And then Rebecca starts to like have the actual breakthrough. And Dr. Akopian's body is just like a plant that hasn't been watered in years. And all of a sudden she's just like, oh my God. Oh my God, it's happening. She cancels her next 5 appointments. Like, she's like, stay with me. And then, like, when Josh, like, they hear the noise, and then Josh comes in, she's like, no. It's like a doctor losing a patient. She's like, no, come back to me. No. Come on. No! And you just, it was amazing.
That cry of agony at the end, the no, she just, like, she knows that she can't pull Rebecca back from this now.
No, she can't. No, she can't. And what's funny is that this is the path not taken had Greg not left.
What do you mean?
So, Dr. Copian is trying to get Rebecca to essentially not focus on everything else and focus on herself.
Uh-huh.
Rebecca was trying to stop Greg from doing what he needed to do to make himself better so that he could fix her problems.
Mm-hmm.
Except for this time, instead of doing the right thing like Greg did and said, nah, I'm out, deuces, she went, yes, Josh, I'll marry you.
Yes.
So, you get to see the inverse. Also, I'd like to point out, you hilariously said we don't know Rebecca's intentions when she went to the airport, as if we didn't exactly know what Rebecca's intentions were. The most selfish person you know is going to do the selfish thing.
I don't know that Rebecca always thinks about it with intent, though.
I think she intended to try to keep Greg to stay.
I don't know.
At least based on how she says and the things she does, I'm going to assume that she was trying to get him to stay. I hear what you're saying, but like... I mean, there is something like an alcoholic doesn't intend to drunk drive. That is fair. But also, you do know what happens when you drink.
When you do it?
Yeah, like there's some level of like, but when you wet yourself, I pee my pants. Like, you kind of know where this ends up most of the time.
Can we talk about Rebecca and Valencia?
Yeah, I actually really liked this.
I did too. I loved Valencia's response.
And it wasn't like she pretended like everything's okay.
Yeah. But she also wasn't just like,
I
never want to talk to you again.
Her response felt appropriate.
Well, and I also think that she might, we don't know, but she might be having a bit of a like, okay, Rebecca, like, maybe you need to do this for yourself.
Well, and I think part of her, like she said, like, He's not what you think he
Yeah.
is. Like, she's using Josh to do all the things that, like, he can't. Okay.
Yeah.
And, like, she's actually... This is kind of why I always say, you know, I don't remember which episode it was, but it was like, the difference in the way that Valencia understands Josh and Rebecca understands Josh, and Valencia having been with him for a decade, she is so much more versed as to what he really is, whereas, like, Rebecca doesn't have that. She doesn't have that knowledge.
Josh proposing to Rebecca after, like a month, and then Valencia trying for that for a decade.
A month isn't entirely appropriate because Rebecca was throwing herself at him for a year or whatever season 1 takes place over.
Yeah,
like,
but
so
they
it's a
haven't
little
actually been together.
No, they haven't. And both of them are also trying to solve other issues with each other.
Yeah.
This actually kind of tracks. Like, unfortunately, it makes sense for two broken people like this.
I agree. I'm more saying if I were Valencia, I would be fucking pissed about this.
You know, it's funny. I don't know that I would be, though. Because I think it actually proves her point, and, like, you would be pissed in the sense of, like, I can't believe he didn't propose to me, but also relieved that he didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like, because she would be trapped in this miserable, what's about to happen is not going to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would suck. I think that would hurt more so than be angry.
I also love the ongoing joke of, like, we talked about how time specific it was to become, like, Facebook official. Yeah. And then that they keep throwing out all of these other social media platforms that, like, Waze, Open Table, Draw Something, and Movie Phone. You can announce your relationship on those as well.
Which is funny because I do remember Facebook official being a thing.
Oh, for sure.
And it was always stupid back then, but it felt normal. And now I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But Instagram has their own version where, like, you soft launch someone where you show a photo, but you don't show their face. And then when you're really official, then you guys take a photo, we both show the faces.
Oh my god. What is the world?
I don't know. It's a young people thing. I'm old.
Do you want to talk about anything else before we talk about Darryl and Nathaniel?
No. I think I'm good.
Okay. Did you take issue with they both had temper tantrums in this episode?
Oh, you're talking about Darryl and Nathaniel?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't call Nathaniel's a temper tantrum. I called Nathaniel's more of a meltdown.
Yeah, that's fair.
But they both had a tantrum.
Yeah.
Darryl had a temper tantrum. Nathaniel kind of had just a breakdown that Daddy didn't give him what he wanted. But both of them had an extreme emotional reaction.
Well, and it was interesting that this is kind of we've never heard Darryl talk about his dad before. Like,
no.
He clearly has similar issues to Nathaniel, but he's buried them a lot deeper.
Emasculated sock puppet, huh?
Emasculated sock puppet. I was sure that was something his ex-wife had called him.
Same. And I wonder how much of his ex-wife's behavior reminded him of his father's behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. That also... I liked that Darryl and Nathaniel kind of got to a good spot. Like, I thought that was really sweet. Let's talk about Darryl, and then I want to close with Nathaniel. This was humorously played, but it did make me wonder, how did you get to where you are? Because he seems to be bad. Like, I don't know how to say it in a way. Like, are you just a bad lawyer?
I don't know. It's generally very hard to say about, like, basically everyone in this show, because most of the show is not about them being lawyers. It's about them doing things that distract them from being lawyers.
But it's clear that Rebecca and Paula are very competent.
Yeah.
Like, that is shown over and over again, and it's very clear that Nathaniel's competent. Like, even if you don't see it, you know that, like, Paula can get the job done, and Rebecca might be a dumbass as far as to getting distracted, but she's good when she focuses.
Well, and with a lawyer, there is a minimum. You have to pass the bar, and it is not easy to do that. 100%. So Darryl clearly understands real estate law and, like, what needs to be done.
Yes.
He just is, like, incredibly socially awkward and seems like he would not be good at, like, establishing, like, meeting clients.
Yeah, relationship building is a big part of being a lawyer.
But he does it has a very awkward path, but he does, like, form a bond with Nathaniel at the end of this. So, like, maybe he's good at, like, working with other awkward people or, like, finding bonds in ways that...
Or he's just genuinely a nice guy, and then people see that, like, yeah, you're awkward, but I want a lawyer that I trust.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good point, like, genuinely a nice guy. He's being ridiculous in this episode.
Yes.
Like, the candy and the, like, freaking out, and Paula, like, straight up tells him to his face, like... it was dumb that you sold your firm.
But you did it.
But you did, and you need to live with the consequences. And because she cares about Darryl, she was the first person to stand up and say that she bought the candy.
Which, that's a risky move.
Yeah.
Like, what if he had said, whoever did this is fired?
And then everyone else did it too, and it was sweet, because they like Darryl.
What was that a play on?
It's, they were playing the music too, so a complex reprise. Do you remember the Flooded with Justice song?
Yes.
It's from Les Miserables. Can you hear the people singing the songs of
Because they were standing up like one by one,
yes.
and I was like, this feels like it's a callback to something.
Yeah, they're standing up for justice.
Gotcha. Flooded with justice.
They are flooded with just candy justice.
Just candy justice. Okay.
Nathaniel.
Yeah. All right. So I had two very big points, and I wanted to make sure that we got through a second episode before I completely judged his character. I enjoy Nathaniel's character 1,000%. I think he's funny. I think he's hilarious. Does all the right things. I would not get along with someone like Nathaniel because he's actually almost everything I despise in real life. He's an upper crust Ivy League rich boy douchebag.
Yeah.
If we were the same age, I would beat his ass on principle.
Yeah.
The thing that I find interesting, and both you and I find him very funny, and it's more surprising that you find him funny, because his mean-spirited humor is very much funny because we find it okay to tease Josh about the fact that he's dumb as fuck. Let's replace Josh with, hey, Karen, hey, Uggo, come here. Let's replace Greg with, hey, alcoholic, get over here. Hey, Rebecca just walked in. Hey, Pillsbury Dough Girl just walked in. Or, hey, fat ass. Are we looking at him with the same kind of like okay vibe? Because he just constantly is barraging us with insults about Josh in a way that probably isn't okay. And my humor is mean-spirited humor. Yours typically is not.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I have a full picture of Nathaniel and his arc.
Sure, but as of we are right now.
Yeah, and I don't remember if I liked Nathaniel the first time that I watched the show or not.
I mean, obviously there's something deeper with him going on, too.
Yes. He's also, like, you're right, though, because I sort of remembered Nathaniel as being charming, but, like, smarmy, but that's not actually, you're right, he's just mean.
He's just mean. And it's only at Josh. It is actually, if he were mean like that to everyone, I would say he's mean. He specifically is punching down on someone he looks as inferior to him because he is dumb. And, like, if you replace that with, replace dumb with race, replace dumb with gender, replace dumb with anything, we probably look at this differently.
Yeah. I mean, he's mean to Darryl, too.
No, he's dismissive of Darryl because he thinks Darryl is incompetent, but he doesn't punch down on him. He's not battering him with insults. He kind of he's smarmy to Darryl. Mm-hmm. He calls him flip-flop boy, and you're going, like, he is, if you take his way of speaking about it, and you took away the dumb, and you were talking about somebody black, or somebody who's a woman, or somebody who had a disability, or Greg's alcoholism, it just is going to sound significantly worse.
Yeah. I think, and I don't remember what I felt the first time I watched this. I do think that revealing the daddy issues right away makes it clear that there's something deeper going on with Nathaniel.
Agreed.
And that it makes sense that, like, we've never met Nathaniel's dad. I think we get to meet him, but, like, he's definitely not, like, a major character. It is clear that shit that the Nathaniel says is things that his father would say or impress his father.
That's true. It's strange, though. So, like, I hear you if that was his general demeanor, but why doesn't he do that with anyone else? Why is he just particularly hyper-fixating on Josh?
I think that he is mean to everyone else.
He doesn't say those things about everyone else.
He did in the last episode.
All of the lines that I had, I didn't...
Well, I didn't write down all the mean shit that the Nathaniel said. Did you?
I wrote down a lot of it. Oh, you're dating another guy who's not a human flip-flop? Like, there are no, like, he doesn't look at... Hell, even Rebecca he's actually kind of impressed by. Like, even though he very clearly knows that he's superior to Darryl, he doesn't throw in his face that I'm way smarter than you.
Well, I think there might be something about Rebecca that intrigues him, which is...
he's into her.
How did you choose something that wouldn't be impressive to your father?
Or more importantly, how did you choose something so inferior to myself?
Sure.
That is actually the statement he is really making.
I don't...
On paper.
I'm also really curious, like, now that you're saying that, there must be something about Josh specifically that isn't just about Rebecca. It might be similar to what I just said about Rebecca, why is this dude so chill and happy when he's clearly a loser and his father must not love him?
Could be that. Could be, why is this loser douchebag with this impressive woman? Why would anyone choose somebody so blatantly inferior to me? Ever? Why do these people exist? Like, look, to be quite honest, we both know he is a attractive, tall, successful on-paper person.
He's suspiciously good-looking.
He's suspiciously good-looking.
That normal people are not.
Yeah. I'm not super surprised that he looks at someone like Josh, who, while Josh is a good-looking, attractive man, by all accounts a loser. Mm-hmm. That's why I hate the term on paper. I think Nathaniel on paper looks at Josh as inferior and weak and pointless.
For sure.
I think the problem with that is I got no problem if you feel that way. But if you're going to throw out all of those insults, I don't know that we can look at you as anything other than kind of a jackass.
Yeah.
Especially if you were doing this to everyone, I actually really wouldn't give a shit. If you look at Paula and call her a fat ass, and you look at Darryl and call him a weirdo, and you look at Karen and call her ugly, and all those things, it's like, okay, you're kind of just mean-spirited. But yeah, there is something about Josh that you really seem to have an issue with.
It's a good question.
Yeah. And I think I'm a little bit more bothered that Rebecca has allowed him to get away with that without being like, don't talk about my boyfriend like that. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know that, like, while Paula and Scott were happy, I doubt Scott would be okay with you calling his wife a fat ass to his face. Mm-hmm. He'd probably punch him out. And he'd be justified in doing so. Whereas, like, at some level, I wonder, does Rebecca also believe this?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's kind of fucked up.
It is fucked up. But now they're getting married, so they'll never have problems again.
Never have problems again. I have a couple dislikes that I want to talk about real quick. Okay, so we know that Rebecca, and I've said this before, I don't think Rebecca did most things. It's weird. Rebecca did a lot of things to get Josh, but I don't believe she did things for Josh. There's a few. You know, the letter was kind of for Josh and kind of about herself. The soup was probably the most altruistic thing she does for Josh. For the most part, though, Josh Chan was supposed to be the solution to all of her problems. Mm-hmm. And when this is like, she brought Josh here to be miserable with her. Mm-hmm. And when he is having a great time, she's actually miserable about that. Like, how do you care about someone, genuinely care about them, and are miserable because they're not miserable?
I think that there's two things happening there. Yes, 100% what you said, correct. She just doesn't think about him. Yep. But I do also think, if you think about this being Greg, Rebecca and Greg would have a good time being miserable and making fun of other people. They would have a good time.
100%, I agree with you.
And I think that Rebecca just is like, well, obviously, like, that's what we're going to do, and Josh will have a great time doing that. And then when that's not happening, then she's like, why aren't you miserable? What's wrong with you?
Why aren't you commiserating with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, and I think that's one of the things her and Greg worked about.
Yeah.
But on a counterpoint, that reminds me of the first date they go on, where they're having a great, glorious time, and then she takes home another guy because... Why? Because that's what Rebecca does. Yeah. Naomi, I really didn't think casual racism was one of the things you did.
That's on point for a 70-year-old woman in a white Jewish woman.
I don't disagree with you. I just hadn't seen it. You know, it's a thing that you get used to, especially as a person of color, but it's still always like, I just didn't think that was you. Now, to her credit, she realizes that it's wrong, and then gives a nice little not performative, like I'm educated now, that was a wrong and xenophobic thing to say.
I knew it was racist, and I didn't know why.
But Naomi's like, that is a xenophobic in term, and you're just like, oh, okay. And then, Rebecca, why would you subject Josh to the Naomi experience like that? Like, you gotta at least give him a getaway. Though Josh actually does a really good job of adapting. Like, good job here, man.
Josh has a really good way of, like, finding common ground with almost anybody.
That's the thing, is that, like, say what you want about his on-paper credentials, you can't argue that Josh Chan is a bad guy. He's a good human being, genuinely speaking, in a way that...
He's a nice guy.
Not all... Well, nice guy has a connotation.
Well...
He's a genuinely nice person.
Yes.
Yeah. Lines?
I have a lot, but
Same.
I don't know if I'm going to say all of them. I loved Heather at the beginning. When she says the thing about, like, how people on social media are statistically not happy or whatever, and then they're like, what? She's like, no, I thought of a hypothesis and I backed it up with a Vox article. It's standard scientific method.
Which is both a wrong use of the scientific method, but literally how people function nowadays.
100%.
I had that as my first line. Second line, she asked me if I pierced her hymen. No, she showed up to camp with those earrings.
Josh, come on.
When did you get this done?
Come on.
Yeah.
I have 2 from the conversation that Rebecca and Nathaniel have. He again calls Josh flip-flop, and then he makes a joke about them going to a sandals resort, and then he out loud says sandals. That was really good. I'm going to use that again.
Yep, he does.
It was great, and it was a very funny joke. I also liked, he said something ridiculous about science, and Rebecca goes, that sounds factual, and her delivery of it was so funny.
It was, actually. It was very funny. Father brought, hey, Josh, if you think you're going to spend a weekend with a bunch of 70-year-olds and not get called Oriental, I don't know what to tell you. And it's like, as a person of color, I felt that in my soul, where it's like, you're going to get called a racist term. Deal with it. And it's like, you're right, I am.
Yeah.
Because these old people just don't give a fuck.
I also loved Rebecca when she was talking about Rabbi Sherry. She's a robot who's trying to incept God into me all the time.
I know so much about robots!
And then I just thought this was like incredibly meaningful for the show as a whole when Rabbi Sherry says to her, "That's not love, my dear. It's fantasy. It's not real."
Speaking of what you would call fantasy, well, you define yourself with your relationship to Jesus. And he says it with like a pouty, like, no, you're not, no, what am I?
I just like want you to remember this conversation in like 3 episodes.
This conversation? Or the Josh and Father Bra?
Josh and Father Bra.
Okay. How many more you got?
I have no more.
Okay, Naomi. My vagina is fine. I've had some fabulous reviews lately.
Oh, that also feels so like... It's something that we've all experienced where our parents just say something that is just like, oh, why?
Mom, come on! Speaking of that, Naomi. All right, put your pickle in your pants. Let's go thaw some fish. If I never have my mother-in-law refer to any part of my body as a pickle, it'll be too soon. Especially when she's talking about that part. Josh, you already said this. I knew it was racist, but I didn't know why. Also understand. Josh, I did talk about this. I don't know, Rebecca. Seems like the only person here who's miserable is you.
Yeah.
That was poignant.
It was really poignant.
This one just gave me like a fluffy, good feeling of victory. If you ever watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that vindication. Rebecca, well, I moved to West Covina to be with a boy. I know. We all know.
All right, Roger.
Thank you.
Okay, so there were 2 songs.
Oh, one of them was clearly superior.
I think they're both really good, actually.
I think one is really good. I think one is elite.
But I love the reprises.
The reprises are good, too, as well.
There are...
3?
3. Yeah. We definitely should not have sex right now. Period sex. And flooded with justice.
Oh, that... Oh, yeah. I don't want to talk about that yet, because I have to... That's in my favorite moments. Actually, it's in my most ridiculous moments.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, should we move to favorite moments?
Yeah. I have 4.
I have 2. One is all the reprises.
Okay. Audra and Rebecca, that look that they give their husbands when they're bonding. Because I know a lot of women who kind of bond over our stupid fucking husbands.
Yeah.
And, like, those two don't really like each other. But you can kind of see that, like, when they see their stupid husbands bonding, and they're like, this just isn't even fun anymore. Because they both have a common enemy now.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of funny to see those two bond like that.
I like that. That was good.
Naomi and Josh bonding.
Yeah, I
That was
really
adorable.
liked that as well. It was very sweet.
Like, Josh won her over.
He did.
Yeah. Dr. Akopian. I don't need to say more.
Yep, that's great. Mine is Patty freaking LaPone.
Fair enough.
Patty LaPone, iconic. I love that they gave her a song. It was fabulous.
I love that you immediately knew who that was and expected me to know who that was.
I didn't. I thought that you might recognize her from Agatha.
When you said it, I caught it, but I thought you said Patty, and I was like, that ain't Patty LaBelle. And then I realized that's not what you were saying.
I also just can't. This is like my number one thing that makes me angry about Agatha all along, which I think is fabulous. You hire Patty LaPone in a show that has multiple musical numbers, and you don't give her a solo number? What?
That's a poor choice. That's a poor choice. I hear you. My favorite moment, though, Josh had a great time.
Josh did have a great time.
And I loved that. In a situation in which he was set up to fail, he had a great time.
I also love that he was having a great time even before he got there. He, like, connected with her cousin, who's 13, about this.
But let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It's just, like, he found him on social media and, like, was messaging him about it, was trying to get someone cool to come to his bar mitzvah. Like, very cool.
Josh is a good guy.
Josh is good.
I would get along with Josh in real life. I wouldn't let him run anything, but I would get along with Josh.
Favorite song?
Remember That We Suffered is elite.
It is an elite song for sure. We'll Never Have Problems Again feels so like I love the disco of it, the way that they transition into
great
it.
Great character song.
Yeah, Heather, like, soul training out was great. We'll never worry about paying the bills. The only money we need is sunset. Like, it's
great.
It's great. It visually portrays their delusion, like, so well.
The thing, though, that I like more about Remember That We Suffered is that it actually hits two different cultures that we touch on this. Because Catholics also love their guilt.
Oh, for sure.
So this basically is like, oh, Streisand and Hitler. And then something and Hitler. Did we mention the Holocaust? I don't want to bring up the Holocaust, but the Holocaust happened. It was really bad.
No. I mean, maybe this is because I'm a music nerd, but the best line in Remember That We Suffered is, but we sing in a minor key to remember that we suffered.
Yeah, that's a music nerd thing for sure. Appreciate that, though. Is that your favorite song? Or did you like the other one better?
Yeah, okay. Remember That We Suffered is also my favorite song.
It's just so good.
It's so funny. Like,
It's just so funny.
Yeah. Especially because it, like, we've been talking about Rebecca's miserable. Like, it's both playing off of, like, her personal misery and this, like, stereotypical Jewish suffering.
Jewish guilt, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, no, agree with that. I have 4 ridiculous moments.
I have 2.
Okay.
Rebecca being mad at Josh for having a good time.
Rebecca wanting Josh to be miserable. Like, it's one thing to be mad because, like, you're having a good time and not, but she intended for him to be miserable. I don't know. I know that I'm hard on Rebecca and you think that, but, like, it is not a sign of a good partner to want your partner to suffer.
Of course it's not.
Like, even if you think you're going to suffer, I'd at least want you to be happy. And honestly, I would be happy that you're having a good time, and I'd be like, well, at least you had a good time. She's actually pissed. And I'm like, God, you're a dick.
Yeah. Naomi being ridiculous. Just
Naomi.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like, holding her arms up in the air, opening the door wearing a bra, calling Josh Oriental, like, singing period sex.
Yeah, so, look, all of those things were ridiculous. I don't know if this happens in Rebecca's head, if she really, because, Rebecca has sung this song out loud, so maybe Naomi has heard this song. She describes, like, a crime scene with her and a different boy to Josh, and then starts singing period sex. That was the other reprise.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, did you say that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hilarious, though.
That's hilarious.
My other 2, Darryl's talent as a lawyer. He seems very not lawyery.
Although Nathaniel did give him a case at the end. We've actually never seen Darryl lawyer.
But the fact that he initially didn't want him to do anything seems to imply he has no faith in him.
Yeah.
Which means he's probably not that good of a lawyer, or maybe he was and hasn't done it in a while. We don't know. We've never seen him.
Darryl definitely does not actively act like a good lawyer.
No. I mean, neither does Rebecca, but we at least see how talented she is. And then my last ridiculous moment was also one of my favorite moments. Dr. Akopian.
It's a great one.
For a therapist to be tuned out and then go over the top, cancel everything, and then just, like, big exclamation at the end. I was like, she played that so perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 4 losers, 1 winner.
I have 3 losers and 2 winners.
So we have the same total amount. Okay.
Sure. My first loser is Dr. Akopian.
Yep. Same.
I didn't want to put her on here because every time she's on screen is a win for all of us. But she
snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, it was right there, and she was so excited about it. And it got ripped right out of her hands.
I recently heard a term on ESPN, teams who blow leads late, they start calling them comeback losses. Mm-hmm. Dr. Akopian had a comeback loss. Like, oh, you were right there. All you had to do was That's a tough L.
It's tough. And then I have Rebecca and Josh.
Oh, I also have Rebecca and Josh.
I almost didn't put them because, like, theoretically, this is what Rebecca has wanted to have happen the whole time, but I just cannot condone.
Cannot condone this behavior.
I just can't. Any situation in which Dr. Akopian is this upset, I can't be happy about the situation.
I do have Josh as a question, because I have to admit, while I don't love the scenario he's in at the end, his actions throughout the entire episode are fantastic. Like, he's actually great, and he does a lot of great things bonding with Naomi. He tolerates the casual racism. He has a really good time. He puts in a ton of effort to try to make Rebecca happy. And then at the end, he actually successfully executes Naomi's plan to go find the ring from the pawn shop that he remembered she had pawned, and then proposes. Yeah, I don't love where he's at, but as far as being a boyfriend, my man's getting an A+ 5-star rating.
I think all of that is fair, but I think being manipulated by Naomi...
I don't think he's being manipulated. That's what he wants too. It's just not what he should want. But it's not manipulation. He's completely aware of what she wants, and he wants it too.
And also just the thought, and I mean, this is why Rebecca is also a loser, that Rebecca is upset about something, so I'm going to propose to her to fix it.
I mean, I hear you that, like, the action isn't right, but I can't imagine you think it's wrong for a partner to try to want to fix the partner being upset. And that's actually a thing that we've talked about. People like Scott don't always do a good job of being aware and then trying to help. No. He actually did try to help. Now, I don't agree with what his help was, but he did try.
Yeah.
Rebecca, I don't need to explain why Rebecca is the worst person on the planet, because she wanted her partner to literally be miserable. This is yet another example of Rebecca is the worst.
While Dr. Akopian lost... Rebecca is the reason that Dr. Akopian lost.
100%. And that bothers me less because that's more of a her, but like the fact that she actually wanted everyone else to be miserable is like, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then Darryl. Now, Darryl gets to a good spot at the end, but boy, this was like, you had a deep internalized, emasculated sock puppet problem with Daddy. Your number one doesn't even think you're worthy of doing any work, even though you're slammed. You executed a candy heist for no... Like, Darryl, what are you doing in life?
That is all fair. I have Darryl as a winner.
You do.
I think that he no longer feels like an emasculated sock puppet at the end of this episode, and he found... He like, Nathaniel respects him now.
Yeah.
Which is not... Nathaniel does not offer respect lightly.
As his interactions with Josh, or to Josh, could say. Absolutely. I don't disagree with that. I think it's more so that, like, everything he did...
The whole episode, Darryl's having a bad time.
Yeah.
Darryl's having a not good time.
I modify, I have 3 winners now instead of 1.
Okay.
So, why don't you go?
My other winner is Naomi.
Naomi was my clear winner.
She
got what she wanted.
I don't follow whatever she thinks is happening here, but she really likes Josh. She had a great time. She is unquestioningly herself all the time.
Yeah. Not a good thing.
Yeah. And she, and I guess she wants Josh and Rebecca to get married, and now they are?
Well, yeah, she likes Josh. She believes that Josh... And not from like a... She does genuinely believe Josh is good for Rebecca. And her explanation is valid. She softens... And like, I don't think she has hard edges, but he does bring out a side of Rebecca that is better than normal. That's a low bar to clear. And for that reason that Naomi is the winner, I have Josh as a winner as well. Mostly for the reasons I said earlier. Like, everything he does is great. The entire episode... Actually, he's the inverse to Darryl. He doesn't end the way I love it, but boy, all of his actions throughout the episode are fantastic.
I just don't think that this is what Josh... Like, not only do I not agree with it, Josh didn't want this until Naomi incepted the idea in his brain.
I don't agree with that. I think Josh shouldn't want this. I do think he does.
Fundamentally can never think that it's a good idea for people that, like, have been dating for 5 seconds to get married.
Totally. Also, can we admit that you also fundamentally are never going to agree with a dumbass marrying someone who's not a dumbass?
Probably.
And you have an intelligence bias that is... It's not racism level hatred, but it's pretty up there. I'm going to be honest with you. You hate dumb the way I hate the Klan.
Wow. Well, the next episode...
Oh, I have one more winner.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nathaniel.
Okay, yeah, I almost put Nathaniel.
Look, I think Nathaniel's an elitist douchebag prick. But he truthfully did a good job of letting Darryl in a way that I suspect he's probably not normally doing. He trusted him with the case. I also think there was a little bit of a breakthrough with him, and like, I got some daddy issues.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that his reaction to not getting that thing was massively outsized.
Well, and if you think about it, just like, I know it's hard sometimes because of like plot device and like whatever. He got sent to a shit town that's 2 to 4 hours from LA in traffic.
Did he get sent there? I thought he chose to come here to like prove something to his dad.
Okay.
Well, there's a difference. Like, there's a difference between go do this and like I'm going to do this thing. They are different things.
Unclear.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, it just his situation doesn't seem fun.
There's some daddy issues.
Yeah.
I can't get out of the pool because daddy will be disappointed in me. There's some daddy issues here. He's the third, right? Nathaniel Plimpton the third.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the next episode is called Josh is the Man of My Dreams, right? So that'll be fun.
Well, I think we all know, I said in an earlier episode, which now sounds stupid, that like, okay, we're kind of done with the Josh and Rebecca thing. Oddly enough, I'm quite pleased that we added Nathaniel because it's very clear that we're done with the idea that Josh and Rebecca can ever really be together. Like, look, the last episode, she clearly has a thing for Nathaniel. This episode, she's mad at Josh and won't talk to him because he was happy. Like, you guys aren't working. And this reminds me very much of how I felt about her and Greg. This isn't working between you two. Mm-hmm. So whether they're getting married or not, we know that this is not going to work. Something is going to happen. So, and also, you know who I feel like I wanted to add as one that she didn't have enough time was Valencia.
Mm-hmm.
The way she handled that was fantastic.
I think that was great.
But yeah, I actually think we're going in the right direction. Even if Rebecca is still Rebecca, we're going in the right direction.
All right. Well, please be sure to join us next time when we watch Season 2, Episode 11, Josh is the Man of My Dreams, right?
We'll see you next time.